All right, welcome to another episode of Off the Wall. It's your boy Dazzle167 coming at you once again with another episode, and today we are doing a Twitchcon recap, and this we're gonna be doing it with the one and only skateactiondj. What's up?
Hey, that's me.
Right, which I actually have to change because I put here that your name is Tex, and your name is not Tex.
My name is not Tex. Your
right. Name is skateactiondj.
I cannot replace Tex. That is a fact. I think I need to turn a light off because it is insanely bright. Oh, that's better.
Right, there you go. skateactiondj. All right, so we're talking about Twitch. We're talking about TwitchCon and everything that went through. So one of the things that we should probably note is that when we were getting into TwitchCon, Twitch actually had a lot of really different changes that happened as we went through. So yeah. So
that's putting it one way.
Right. So we'll see if we could talk about those changes as well. Because we were kind of lost. We came back. We were just talking about like, I didn't know that changed this and this and this. So the logo is one of those things. But let's talk about that logo. So let's talk about a few things that happened all the way through. But let's go through day one. Going through. So, for those of you who have been following on Twitter, I posted a TwitchCon recap highlight video, which we'll show as well here.
Yes.
And we'll talk about that. Monkey's in the chat. New logo threw me off when I first saw it. Yeah, it's a little, it definitely threw me off too, because when I got there, I was like, oh, that's different. It's almost like not different enough, but it's different. Like it's just slightly different. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. It's not different enough. Like that's why it throws you off, because it's not like a complete overhaul. It's just like, oh, we're gonna tweak a little bit of this logo and the word, and we're done.
Right. And one of the things that they did do was change the stuff for mobile, which was great, because I know a lot of people watch stuff on mobile. And they're constantly complaining. Now you can sub on your iPhone. That's time. Huge. That's huge. I mean, I know so many people who make it that makes it so much easier for them to do it. So yeah, no, that's awesome. So let's talk about day one. So day one, we go into TwitchCon. First time I ever gone to a TwitchCon, so for me it was like big skate. I think it was the first time for you as well, right?
Yes, it was the first time at TwitchCon. It's not my first time at a con, but yes,
Right.
first time at TwitchCon, and it was like, I think we had an expectation of how big TwitchCon was,
Right.
and then you walk in the door.
Right.
Like, it just blows you away. Like,
Right.
it's bigger than any con I've probably been to before. So
Right.
it was a unique experience, to say the least.
Now, here's the thing, too. The journey to TwitchCon was actually really tough because Skate had to fight a few boss battles in order to get us the tickets. So I know, and I know that the tweet went out and it went crazy. Everybody was talking about it. Like, whoa, what's going on? They're not letting them in, blah, blah. So tell us about your experience, about how it got handled. How'd you go through? Like, what happened?
Yeah, let me kind of run it down for everybody, because you can only say so much in a tweet or 2 or 5, whatever we sent out. I can't even remember at this point. So Thursday of the convention, they opened up for early badge pickup for everybody, so that Friday, when the convention opened, you don't have everybody running in trying to get badges. Smart. We get there, and because our badges were not reserved under our individual names, so our names were CGL1 and CGL2.
Right.
So you see, we have the CGL badge here that I had. So because they weren't in our name and under our channel, we were having trouble picking them up. I'm sure it's a security feature that the company running this whole ordeal for Twitch actually has set up, so that somebody can't come up and steal a badge or anything like that. Because, I mean, badges aren't cheap. I mean, it was not cheap at all. So we weren't able to pick them up because they weren't in our names, and we needed to have essentially that person there to pick it up. That person was probably 1,500 miles away and not coming to TwitchCon. So we essentially had 2 fully paid badges just hanging out, and we couldn't pick them up. It was a long ordeal of me going through probably 5 different lines, first going through the affiliate line, then going through the help line, then going through the support line. Like, there were 3 different types of support lines that I had to go through. Essentially, we got a hold of the ticketing company and were able to make contact so that they were able to approve the transfer, because you're not supposed to have transfers. They had shut down transfers probably, I think it was 2 weeks before the con.
Right.
So they weren't letting us do a transfer, but they had basically, the ticket company had okayed it. It then got escalated to Twitch, who basically said no. They said, no, you can't transfer it. So we were pretty defeated at that point. And when I say we, I mean, I'm standing there. I had just flown over 2,000 miles across the country, coming from Indiana all the way to San Diego. And I'm standing in this convention center that I'm supposed to be attending all weekend, and I can't get in.
And it's funny too. It's funny too, because while all of this was happening,
yeah,
I was in the airport waiting for. I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm going to San Diego for a vacation. There's like nothing we can. So all of this is happening, and then so tell us, as Nips comes into the chat, which is perfect timing. Tell us what happens after all this. Like, how did you get it resolved?
So basically, I'm on the phone with Nips the whole time, and we're kind of trying to figure out a plan B. Obviously, the tweets went out that, hey, we're having this issue. Essentially, we wanted to get some light on it to try and get a hold of someone who can essentially figure this out for us. Because I know I know Twitch doesn't want, like, those badges to just go unused. Like, they want you there and they want you to have a good time. They want it, of course. They want it to happen. While all this is going on, and Nips and I are trying to figure out a plan B, like, oh my God, what are we going to do if we can't get in, kind of thing. I went full on, I would like to speak to your manager. And I finally got a hold of someone.
Right.
And I said, okay, listen, here's the deal. The ticket company said we're good. Twitch said we're not. I need to talk to someone at Twitch.
Right.
I don't care who it is, but whoever can approve this, I need to talk to them.
And that's really what it was too, because, like, I think when you guys were going through that, I had started a conversation with Ticket Fairy, which is the people who were, in charge of the tickets themselves. And I went back and forth with them, was like, listen, what can you do? What's happening? Like, this is the situation. And they basically told me it's Twitch. Like, we can't personally do anything because Twitch set the rules on what you're supposed to be doing. So they're the ones who are supposed to administer the tickets out and stuff like that. It's like, if they said, yeah, we could just give you a ticket right now and just send it to you. Like, it doesn't matter, but it's up to them. And so that's why when I was like, oh, it's funny because it all happened. And when I landed, it all got resolved. So tell us eventually what happened of getting resolved.
So basically what happened is the person that's there representing Twitch's side, I guess, from the counter perspective, goes and speaks to someone else on the side, and essentially I have to show a copy of the ID of the person that was supposed to pick up the badges, and they went ahead and approved it that way. So basically I told them I'm on the phone with the person who has paid for and the name is in.
Right.
They're not going to be here. They can't make it here.
Right.
Like, how do we pick up these badges? I mean, how do we prove that this person was here? Because if that person was there anyways, they could have picked up the badges and then just personally handed them to us and we can go in.
Exactly.
It's not like they're checking the badge with an ID at the door to make sure it matches up. As long as you got a badge, you got in. So that's all we needed to do was get the badge. And when I explained it that way, I think they kind of understood how silly like their policy was. So it ended up working out pretty well. I got the badges in time to still get the goodie bags. Although I will say we didn't get the goodie bags that had the sunglasses in them, unfortunately. So we didn't get the cool purple sunglasses that everybody had. But we got everything else.
We got everything else.
To go to the con.
Right. Which, I mean, included everything from like, they gave you a discount on the loot cave, which we'll talk about. They gave you a food discount for the food vendors at TwitchCon.
Essentially a free meal.
Yeah, essentially, pretty much. And then they also gave you, that quest booklet alongside a bunch of like just things that they were gonna have at there. They gave you. Mine is actually downstairs in my kitchen, but they gave you like this G Fuel container. I think you might have it. Yeah, there we go. And then. Guy. Yeah, the TwitchCon shaker. It's by the way, I used that today. It was awesome. It works perfectly. So that was great. And they gave you some. I think you got bits as well. I mean, I know I got some
100 bits for that.
Right. I got me one of these
for some other things too.
Yeah. Because I did a survey at TwitchCon. I got 100. I got like 200 bits actually. So. Which I went on to Numlock stream, and I went and just individually did 1 bit at a time, and just on his stream just gave him 1 bit after 1 bit after 1 bit.
You did, huh? I see.
Yeah, so don't worry. I'll go into Skate stream and spam him with 1 bit at a time for like 30 minutes. So you just get notification over and over again.
I think it's a minimum 100 for the animation. I don't know what the setting is right now, but I know I had it set lower than that at one point. I think it may be 10 for the voice line or whatever.
Nice.
I don't know what my settings are right now.
So okay, so now day one, we get into line, we get the tickets, right? And then the next day we do the line to go in. Line was actually a lot shorter than I thought it would be. Or maybe, I don't know if we got there early but I feel like...
I think we got there late.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was.
It started at 9 and we didn't get there until like after 10 because we went and had breakfast a couple blocks up the road. Right.
So it didn't feel, for us, obviously, it didn't feel like there was a long line, but that was because we went in there a little late. But we didn't really, I mean... Once you get in there, there's so much to explore. And I think one of the first things that we did, which I found really fun, was we did the quest page, the little quest booklet, right? We went around all the different booths, and there was like quests like download PUBG Mobile, and take a picture with a tank. I'll tell you what, though, PUBG Mobile is 2 gigabytes. And I was like, listen, I'm downloading it, and then I just stopped the download. I'll wait till I get Wi-Fi.
Not on my phone right now.
Yeah, because that's just a little bit too much. And like you download it, if you downloaded it and actually went through with everything, that would be most of your data. If you don't have an unlimited plan, that's insane.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh yeah.
insane. There's no way. So yeah, we took a picture with a tank. That was fun.
Yeah, we pulled out our inner Master P, had to take a picture with the tank.
Right. And then, so we did a bunch of these things. And I mean, me and Skate were just basically walking around doing all the giveaways that they were doing. And just trying.
Yeah, we were doing all the basic stuff.
All the basic stuff, right? All the basic stuff. We passed by Aver Media because we were letting them know, hey, listen, we're gonna be streaming here soon. And we checked out all of their stuff. They got some amazing new cards.
Oh yeah.
And their setups there were insane. I mean, I sat by
the 4K card. Oh
right,
my god, that thing.
Yeah, it's insane. And then they were built like they were doing it from desktops that were Cyber PC. Built them and it was so good. Like the microphones, I mean, everything from they had Viper, keyboards and mouse and all that. And they did a fantastic job at having like setups for streamers over there, and it was really fun. Tell me about we'll go back to day 2 and day 3, but I want a little bit of because we both had different experiences. You had a PC stream with Hearthstone.
Yes.
And so tell us a little bit about that. What did you like about their setup? What do you think about the equipment that we're running?
So yeah, it was a very interesting setup because I know like you and I, we both use a stream deck when we stream. So not having the stream deck, I was kind of out of my element. I'm used to being able to switch stuff with those buttons. Right. But they had a solution. They have partnered with a company called Touch Portal, which actually does it on like your phone or an iPad or any mobile device. So you can have your own little stream deck on there. And it was fantastic. It worked flawlessly. They already had the buttons set up for all the transitions, the mutes, all that stuff. And it was seamless. That being said, I may have had a little bit more monitor than I needed for Hearthstone. I don't think the 27-inch curved monitor was necessarily needed, but it looked gorgeous on there. Right. It was essentially a 2 PC setup for those that are familiar with streaming. We weren't just streaming from the same one we were playing on. They had a 2 PC setup using the 4K internal card that they have, which is, oh my God, it's amazing. That being said, the mics, I went back and re-listened to the audio, and I will say this much. Dazzle, you were there sitting beside me in the stream. And It was loud in that convention center. When you go back and rewatch the stream, you can barely hear that. Yeah. But you can hear us like crystal clear. Those Aver Media mics, I was blown away by.
Absolutely.
That was the big thing for me. I'm interested in one now. Like I'm already shopping for a new mic. I love my Yeti Blue, but I'm in the market for a new mic anyways, and it was awesome. So they had what do you say they had, like 4 or 6 different camera setups all the way around, I think they were using 3 different 4K cards for that. So essentially they were using multiple capture cards to capture video from cameras that weren't like USB cameras. They were like regular video cameras. So it was neat to try that part out, because I've never actually used a regular camera for something like that. And I didn't know that was possible. Now, having looked at that, it really opens up my eyes as to, what's possible within that setup.
Right. And, the monkey was asking about the Touch Portal. It's a app. So basically it's a stream deck that you can just use on your phone and your tablet. And look out, because Aver Media said, hey, listen, we got some codes that we can help you guys get. So we'll be able to get some codes from them and then share them. Skate will be able to share them. I'll be able to share them and stuff like that. So look out for that, because we're going to be able to get those, and those are going to be really nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Dan, what's up, Dan? Dan and Ocean in the chat. How you doing, guys? Wanted to say hello.
Hi, Dan.
So yeah, the Touch Portal is really cool. It's a fantastic way. It's a fantastic alternative to a stream deck. Obviously, stream decks is really nice and everything, but if you can't afford it and you're looking for an alternative that you have an iPad, you can use this, and it works fantastic. We used it, and it was a great tool to have. It was a great thing to do. So let's talk about let's finish rounding up day 1. So you know, we did quite a few things. We went through some of the booths. Let's talk about what we learned at the Lightstream booth, because I feel like that's super cool, that the stuff that we learned there. First of all, I'm still a little salty that Skate won a hat and I didn't, especially since he won. He won a hat that I usually wear. I wear these hats, and I even said, I was like, oh, I don't care about the raffle ticket. I was like, I don't even care about the raffle ticket or any other stuff. If I can just get the hat, I'll be happy. And then Skate goes through, is like, hat. Oh, look, I won the hat. I'm like, you son of a.
As I spin it, Dazzle says, Skate, you better not win that hat.
And look what happened. He wins the hat.
And I win the Lightstream hat.
Which is a great hat. It's got a nice little embroidery of the Lightstream logo, and it's all in black and gold. Yeah. It's awesome. It's a really cool hat. I'm really jealous about the hat because it's so it's so cool. It's such a cool. Yeah, there you go. There's a hat. See, look how cool that thing is. Yeah. See, exactly. It's a really nice hat. But they, you know, I have been a user of Lightstream for a little bit. My wife uses it for her streams, and it's a really cool, you know, web-based, you know, overlay kind of like thing that you use. And, you know, there was a lot that happened, but Skate, tell us a little bit about exactly what gears were grinding in your head when you heard some of the stuff that was possible to do.
Yeah, so I don't know how much of it is fully possible, but I did get some ideas because it is web-based, and you don't need, you know, this high-powered PC to run the Lightstream stuff. It gave me the idea about, you know, being the director of broadcast production for the CGL, that we can set up certain overlays in different scenes and stuff to be able to extend our production value over to people that maybe don't have, you know, a PC powerful enough, or, you know, the capture card kind of thing. It's essentially a layer that works between whatever you're broadcasting out from and like Twitch. So it can essentially, you know, if you're just doing it from the Xbox, like this is you're broadcasting straight out from the Xbox, Lightstream can sit in between and allow you to have overlays onto your stream. So you can preset things in your interface. And then there was one little feature that kind of blew us away. So there is a way to co-stream within Lightstream. And what that means is you can invite one of your friends who's streaming to stream with you, like we're doing here on this this podcast. And you can actually invite them, and they can stream their video directly to you, and you can adjust it as if it's an element within your streaming software. So it's essentially a source, like it would be like your own webcam is how it's manipulated, and then you get to put it on your stream. So you get the raw feed straight from it. It allows us to essentially do things like we're doing now, but not have to have 42 monitors set up like we typically do. So
right.
It takes a lot of the difficulty in setting something like that up away. It streamlines all of it.
Yeah, and you know, it's great because it takes a lot of the processing power from the PC, which is a lot.
Oh yeah, I didn't even talk about that.
Yeah. It's all web based, so it's a great alternative to, you know, some of the OBS software that you may use that, you know, takes a lot of processing. I mean, you know, so that's a really good alternative, Lightstream, and it links really good with other OBSs, like if you want to use Streamlabs or any of the other, you know, OBS softwares that you may have, it links perfectly with those, so it's a good alternative. So yeah, that looks amazing. I want to talk about, and this is not something that we necessarily saw on day one, but this is something that just, as soon as I saw it, it just made my heart melt, and it was the Go XLR audio mixer.
Oh yeah, Dazzle's in love.
Oh my, this thing is amazing. I mean, listen, so first of all, me and Skate were just talking about this before we headed into there. We were just talking about Skate was like, oh, you know, I want something that's like a physical mixer where I could go up and down with the faders and stuff like that. because I was telling him some alternatives. Oh, well, you do this and that, and he was like, no, I want something physical, and I was like, okay, well and then we just happened to find this Go XLR, which is an amazing product. I believe the company is Tachyon or Techleon. I forgot how to spell their name, but oh my god, so basically it's a automated mix fader, right? So it has like 4 or 5 faders, and you can assign them to anything that you want on your computer. And for Streamlabs, if you have the mic input, then you can go up and down, right? And you can do all of that stuff. And in addition to that, they have like the small version, which has only the faders, and then they have another bigger version which has the faders, and they also have like a sampler. You can actually sample your voice. You can put bleeps. You can do a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, I think you can even auto-tune your voice.
Motorized levels.
Yeah. Oh, and it has motorized levels. Yeah, that one has motorized levels, and it has like a what they call for the consoles like the Vegas mode, where they have like all the lights and then you have So that is amazing. If you get a chance, I tweeted it out as well because I wanted to win one.
You didn't tell them the best part. It's RGB.
Oh, that's right, and it's RGB. Yeah. No, I mean, there's so many things that's so good about it. So
it's TC Helicon is the name of the company.
Yeah, so that's definitely part of it. Platinum in the chat, you talking about live? Oh no, we don't really do live calling at this talk show. You can ask a question in chat and then we'll answer it. But as far as live calling, we don't really do that.
That's dangerous.
That's dangerous. Yeah, that is very dangerous. So we're not doing that at the moment. But if you have a question about TwitchCon or CGL and stuff like that, feel free to ask it in the chat, and we'll try our best to answer it. So that was day one. I'm not sure if I left anything of day one. I feel because a lot of the things that we were doing through day one was pretty much just doing a roundabout, just going around and and looking at everything at a first glance. And we didn't even get to look at everything.
We forgot one thing from day one.
Oh, what's that?
Oh, you forgot the highlight, arguably the highlight of the con.
Wow. Okay.
Which is this bad boy right here.
Oh yeah. Okay. So skate. One of the things that we were looking at. Okay, so let's recap this real quick. We're good. So we found a booth that allows us to give us a .tv tag the .tv for our
domain.
The domain. So I have dazzle167.tv and SkateAction has skateaction.tv, right? So we had those, and then at the corner of our eyes we see this big Blockbuster sign with an area that looks like a Blockbuster, has like videos and stuff like that, and we were like, what is this? Like Blockbuster is
CRT PC setup,
right? There's they have an old, like, it looked like they had an old computer and everything. I was like, this is weird. So we went over and we found out that it's these board games that they have, and one of the board games is a Blockbuster board game, and they bought the license to it.
It's like a card game,
right? And they bought the license to it, and they bought the license to Blockbuster and everything, so they could use the image and stuff like that. But that wasn't even the craziest thing. One of the things was one of the girls that came out. She was like, "Hey, we got these games. Let's try one of these games." And we tried 5 Minute Marvel, which was a game that Skate ended up buying, and it's so much fun. We ended up going back to the house
because we had so much fun.
Right.
That's why I bought it.
Yeah. And we tried it out then and there, and it was really fun. There's an app that goes with it. It was really cool. And it was the type of game that is fast paced. It doesn't take that long, and you could play with like 2 or 3 players. I think I'm not sure if you could play 2, but we definitely played with 3. So
it says 2 to 5 on the box.
2 to 5, perfect. And so you pick a character, and that character has a certain ability in the card game. And then you have to go through these bosses, and these bosses take like certain cards that you have to use. And it's just a very fast-paced and fun game. If you have any questions about it, there is a VOD of us playing it at the CGL crib that I posted.
CGL house.
The CGL house with me, Skate Action, and iNumLocks. We were all playing it, and it was so much fun.
This is how much fun it was. We're going to the con and like going to have breakfast. And like the next day, so day 2, and Numlock is asking, "Can we play that game again tonight?" He was so ready to play again. He got so mad because we got to the final boss, Thanos, and lost.
And we lost to Thanos.
The problem was we didn't go for the head. We went for the chest. We went full Thor, and it didn't work.
Yeah, it didn't
Spoiler
work.
alert.
So absolutely. So that was part of it, and then we couldn't defeat Thanos, but yeah, it was so much fun to play. I mean, it was funny because you mentioned that because yesterday I was on iNumlock's stream. And, he was like, dude, I can't stop thinking about it. That's such a fun game. I'm going to have to get it and play it. I was like, yeah, dude, it really is a lot of fun. Like, it's much fun.
It's addicting because it's so short. Like, you can do it. It literally, the round is 5 minutes or less. So if you complete it in less than that, obviously, you're under the timer. But at 5 minutes, you're done. And you can take time in between the rounds. It's very quick.
Absolutely. So like we said, it really is a lot of fun. So yeah, we saw that. Skate was like, yeah, I gotta get it. It's fun. And I even told him this is how I sold him on it, because after we played it, we were like, oh, that is a lot of fun. We should definitely get it. And you're like, yeah, should I get it? I was like, you should get it. And if you get it, I'll stream it tonight. And then you're like, all right, let's do it. Yeah, I was like, all right,
$25 I spent all of TwitchCon.
Yeah, it really was. It really was good. So that was, that was pretty much day one. I mean, just going around, checking everything out and stuff like that.
Drinking a lot of energy drinks.
Yeah, this is the first time I tried out a lot of energy drinks. There was I think I must have drank 4 different brands of energy drinks. There's so many of them.
Lot of game fuel.
So we went through game fuel. We did their little.
I went every day.
Test. Yeah. Oh, you did? I didn't go every day. I just
went every day.
Yeah. Even Nightbot's like, what? No.
I blew Nightbot away.
Yeah. So there's a lot of we went through a lot of them. We got a little towels and everything from Game Fuel. That was really cool from doing the little thing that they do over there. But yeah. So day one that happens. Day 2, we knew it was gonna be a lot of.
Day 1, you're forgetting one little thing.
Oh, I probably am.
the small after party that Razer put on.
Oh yeah. We got to talk about this. Okay, so Razer. So day 1 happens, and con's already almost to a close, and we were invited to a Razer after party that we got tickets for and stuff like that. And so we went, and it was at the small bar. I feel like it was like Juan's Tequila Bar or something. It was something like that.
Yeah, I think it was.
And so we go there, and it's really awesome. They have this nice little Razer background and stuff like that. They had a few games set up, like some laptops, some fighting games. They had a lot of really cool stuff. They had a lot of cool products that they were showing off. And then, we talked to a lot of people there. We talked to a couple of players. We talked to a Call of Duty player there.
Shout out to 9 Lives.
Yeah, shout out to 9 Lives. Yeah, he was really nice. We were talking to him about a lot of stuff. And then, they had a DJ. They were giving out drink tickets for free, and we were, and because I don't drink, I gave Skate a couple drink tickets, and Skate drank a lot.
That happened.
Skate had a lot to drink. And so all of that happened. And then tacos were phenomenal. I mean, one of the things that I knew I needed to do when I got to San Diego, I was like, I need to get some tacos. And these tacos were delicious. They were authentic. They were really, really good. Yeah. And man, they were really good. And then they had a raffle. So tell the people, what did you win in the raffle?
So I don't know the initial or the official name of this thing, but obviously it is a Razer headphone stand. But if you look here, I've got it a little lit up here in green, but it is a headphone stand that is a USB hub, a USB 3 hub.
Oh, it matches your headset too.
On the bottom. Yeah, I made it. Yeah, it matches my headstand, and I made it even glow green because of that.
Nice.
But and I didn't realize how expensive these things are until I looked them up.
Yeah,
they're not cheap.
They're awesome.
But I wasn't the only one that walked away a winner that night.
That's right.
I believe you have something, Dazzle, that you won that's a little bit louder.
Right.
Than that.
Right. So let me pull this out a little bit here. I'm actually currently working on it. I won myself a Razer Huntsman keyboard, which is amazing. It's in white and it's like so cool. It's amazing. I mean, if you could see it
We
right
should have
now.
traded because yours is white.
Yeah, yeah. No, it really is like such an amazing product, and we were able to talk to one of the product developers there. He was really interested. We talked to him about CGL, and maybe hopefully, he gave me his business card. Hopefully we'll be able to have him on Off the Wall here soon, and we'll talk a little bit to him about all the new products, because they have some amazing stuff, including a microphone that has that has like an 8-bit, it shows images on the microphone itself, and it's also connected to Philips Hue, which is, if anybody knows what that is, it's basically it's an all-inclusive digital portal for all of these lights that connect to each other. So let's say you're subbing or following somebody on stream, the microphone and the lights and everything lights up all at the same time. It's an amazing product, and if the time comes and we get a hold of them and they come on the show, we'll talk a little bit more about that. But yeah, it was an amazing thing. And it's funny too, because Skate won the stand, and then at the end they were like, "Oh, who still has tickets left?" And I was like, "I do." And then they were like, "Well, we can give you a keyboard." It was like, a keyboard? They didn't even give that through the normal raffle.
And it's funny because there were like, how many people were there? Like a dozen at times. Like, so
Right.
the odds of us winning were extremely high.
Right. And of course, Skate wins, and I
Apparently
did it.
Just win everything.
Yeah, because that wasn't the only time he won. Day 2, right? I believe it was day 2. Day 2, Skate was live streaming at the con, and he won something while he was streaming. So
yes, at the Scepter booth, we went there and there was 1,000 people in line.
Yeah,
you can check out my channel for the VOD. By the way, it's at skateactiondj on Twitch, or skateaction.tv if you need to find it. But I apparently won a keyboard that I knew nothing about on stream, and it is a Cooler Master SK650. Look at that bad boy.
Yeah, no, that's sweet. And it came in a little velvet pouch and everything. I mean,
you mean this velvet pouch?
Yeah, look at that. It came in a little velvet pouch and everything. It was nice, and it's super slim. Like, I was comparing it to mine, and
it's a low profile keyboard.
It's a very low profile keyboard. And Monkey, you are absolutely right. Skate has the luck of the gods. He really has. I was so upset at him at every time he won something. I was like, why is this every day he's winning something? This is not fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was winning left and right. Oh, no, did I win? Oh, okay.
Who, me? No.
Who, me?
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We also got to meet Dolly Rocks Your Socks, one of the other CGL sponsored streamers.
Absolutely.
We met her. She's about 4'2".
Yeah, thereabouts. I mean, maybe 4'3" if she's wearing heels.
Right. I just wanted to make that clear because she hates it. So I wanted to make sure that somebody was able to say that on the stream. Oh, yes, Beast. Yes, you heard right. We met XQC amongst other people, but yeah, XQC. One of the things that we found out was like, oh well, we should probably. We know he's around here somewhere because we saw him.
And he was live. I got the notification.
Right. And we were like, oh, he's somewhere around here. Let's stream snipe him, right? So we did exactly that. And Skate was like, oh, he's coming downstairs. He's coming towards us. I was like, oh, okay. And
I knew
Skate
the
was
exact
like,
stairway.
right. And so Skate was like, oh, let's find him. And then we found him, and he was streaming. And then it's funny too, because as it was happening, Dan was like, oh, we saw you. He like FaceTimed me afterwards. He was like, we saw you. So it was really cool.
It was before we were able to tweet the picture out. He was blowing us up and saying, we saw you on stream.
Yeah, because he was already watching the stream. Because Skate was streaming, and then he ended the stream just shortly before that. And Dan was watching Skate stream, and so he was like, all right, well, I'll check out XQC. So yeah, but actually, you know what we'll do right now? Let's do this. Let's watch the highlight video, because I made a highlight video which features all of that. And then we'll talk a little bit about what was in the highlight video and stuff like that. So let's go check that out.
Yeah.
Dazzle, yeah, brother. Absolutely, man. Thank you for wanting one.
Sure, man. Yeah, take it all.
Stereophonic sound for the home.
What's up, Dazzle? Just want to let you know I'm trying to get take pictures with you and watching the Outbound Six set. No problem, Dazzle. I'm glad you had a good time.
When played back simultaneously on two separate systems.
Oh snap! What am I doing? What am I doing? Why?
Oh, new dimension of sound impossible to obtain in a monopoly.
Why am I walking off the map? What's going on? Why did I just walk off the map?
I don't know. Why did you walk off the map?
Out on bail, fresh out of jail, California dreaming. Soon as I step on the scene, I'm hearing cruising streaming. Feeling on funny my alcohol, the life of a West Side player where cowards died in a strong ball. Only in Cali we riot, not rally to live and die. In LA we wearing chucks, not Valley here in the West Side.
All right, so there we go. That was the Twitch highlight recap for TwitchCon. A lot of stuff to talk about. We haven't even hit some of the stuff that we were that was mentioned there. So yeah, so obviously Beast mentioned that we met XQC. He was IRL streaming. So we Q sniped him. we IRL sniped him. Yeah, so we sniped him and we were able to get a picture. Super cool dude. I know he's always saying that he's very awkward and he is like he's a little awkward and stuff like that. But man, he was such a cool guy and you know like he was like giving everybody pictures. You know, as soon as somebody stopped him, he always got some pictures. I mean, the guy can fly though. I mean, he was like running through. It looked like it was like a Reinhardt charge through the TwitchCon. The guy was like flying through.
Yeah, I mean, I had to break out my inner brig and stun lock him a little bit so that we could get a picture. So I mean, that's what everybody had to do because he was like, this dude walks as fast as some people run.
Right. No, he was fast. So we got a picture with him. We were able to, this happened day one, right? We were able to not only take a picture with Evil Toaster, but talk to him. We were able to talk to him.
Yeah.
We had a nice little conversation with him. We were talking to him about Orisa and, you know, the meta and stuff like that, because he's known as like the Orisa flank god. And, you know, a lot of times, you know, we always like, well, what do you feel about this meta? Because this is Orisa's meta. And he was like, you know what? I barely play Orisa anymore because I don't like, you know, it's basically kind of brain dead like Orisa right now, where you just like sit down and just shoot. You know, he's more of like a very active Orisa, so he likes to do stuff, you know, off meta. So, you know, now he plays a lot of ball and a lot of Reinhardt and stuff like that. But yeah, we got to have a conversation on him. Hopefully, maybe have him on the podcast soon. So hopefully we'll see.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Hopefully we'll get Evil Toaster on as well. You know, he seemed interested about the show as well. So
super cool dude.
Super cool dude. Absolutely. And then, you know, we met Rami. She's an amazing person. And she, you know, I've been always a fan of Rami. Her Lucio is such an amazing thing to watch. And, you know, if you get a chance to follow her, she's really cool. And then one of this is probably what made my entire trip, right? I mean, if nothing else happened and only this happened, it would have absolutely made my entire trip. And it was watching the OWO finals in the same room as DSP Stanky. That to me was probably the highlight of the entire trip. I've been a DSP Stanky fan for a long time. Still watch a lot of his streams, even if he doesn't play Overwatch anymore. I still watch him play Apex, a variety of games, and he's so funny. He's such a great person, and he lived up to all of those expectations when I met him. He's such a cool person. So yeah, so cool.
Yeah, what a cool way to watch the finals too. That atmosphere. They essentially had the corner of the bar reserved for any Overwatch fan that wanted to come. Everybody else on the bars, you know, it's Sunday afternoon. They're watching their Sunday football, but we had our own little corner where it was, 4 TVs of us just watching the Overwatch League finals. And it was cool because I think everybody there was rooting for the Shock. I don't think there was a single Vancouver fan in the house.
Right. And yeah, I believe you're right. I mean, as soon as we got in there, maybe 2 maps in, so we got there a little bit late.
As the second half essentially was starting, so just after halftime was when we got in.
Right. B says poor Vancouver. I know they got they got swept.
Vancouver made a liar out of me.
yeah, because one of the things we were talking about, I was streaming at the Aver Media booth that same day while it was happening, which is why I couldn't make it to like the first few maps. And then I asked Skate what was some of his predictions for the OWO finals, and he actually had a pretty close one. You said it was what, 4-1?
I called 4-1 Shock because I didn't have the guts to say 4-0 Shock.
There you go. That's still a very close prediction. I mean, to be honest, because
I think I kind of had a feeling what was going to happen.
Right, and I mean, and it's not like Vancouver played bad. I mean, they did get swept, but it was a lot closer. If you watch the games, it was a lot closer than it got let on. It wasn't like they got rolled. They did do a lot of work. It was just not enough. That's what it was.
They got flexed on map 4. They got flexed on.
Yeah, that's for sure. They did. They did. I mean, I remember one of the things that Stanky was saying at the bar. He was like, "Oh man, I'm just sad that people, the ticket holders, weren't able to get more of a show because it was really quick." Yeah, Monkey says after losing in first round of playoffs, Shock went to sweep every game after.
Every game, they didn't lose a single map.
Yeah, that is absolutely impressive. I mean, when you're on that type of a roll, oh my god, 5 back-to-back 4-0s in playoff bracket, that is absolutely impressive. And I think that's probably one of the things that Skate was thinking about when he was thinking about the Shock, is like how impressive they were till that point. And like, why wouldn't they keep going? So yeah, absolutely. So that was something that happened. Let's talk a little bit about day 2. So Twitch Rivals was going on at the same time as all of this TwitchCon stuff was happening, and we were mostly on the floor. I don't know if Skate, did you get a chance to see Twitch Rivals? I got to see a little bit of it.
I only got to see, I think, at the end there as Apex was finishing up. I didn't actually make it up there because a lot of day 2, you actually spent in line for the Twitch Sings booth. And I was kind of meandering around and just kind of taking in some of the booths that I was more interested in, getting to see some of the game developers, because the game developers that were there were mainly PC based, and, we're the console gaming league, but I still wanted to check some of them out because it's not always, PC exclusive. Right. But I did meet with the Stream Elements folks, and there's a lot I think we can do moving forward with Stream Elements for the CGL channel stuff as well. It is similar to what Streamlabs offers in that it allows you to basically have bots integrated with viewer reward programs, things like that. So there's a lot going on the production side with that moving forward. How long did you actually stand in that line?
Here's the thing. When I stood in the line, I thought, this might be pretty quick, but in reality, there was like 30 people in front of me, and each person was picking like a 5-minute song. So you do the math there. There's a lot. I must have been in there for like 2 or 3 hours. And every
time Bohemian Rhapsody starts, you just
I was like,
an audible groan from the entire line.
Yeah, not only that, but then there would be like groups of 5 people going in and only singing Tequila. There's like 5 minutes of like tequila.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it was a lot of fun, and it's funny too because the performance that I put on the stream highlights wasn't even from that day, because that day like the microphone was really low. I don't even think anybody could hear me. But then the next day I was like, okay, I'm gonna be ready. I'm gonna do Tupac's California Love, and I'm gonna like really like make my presence felt.
Go for it.
And I had two digital ovations and 1 actual standing ovation at the booth. So that was That was really fun. And it was totally worth it because I went early in the morning, so there was like 2 people in front of me, so I was like, oh, I'm not gonna be in line for that long. So
Right.
yeah, so that was really cool. But yeah, I spent a lot of the day just in line for that. That's when Skate was doing his IRL stream, and Dolly was actually playing Overwatch over at the streamer area. She was playing at TwitchCon. That was really cool. Mark Suck, thank you for the host. I appreciate it, man. So yeah, there was a lot of stuff going on during day 2. It's probably one of the longer days, because not only did we do all that, but what happened afterwards was amazing. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, we finished. We were like, all right, let's go back to our CGO crib, right? And then go hang out over there. And then when it's time, we'll go to the TwitchCon party. So basically, they reserved the same stadium that the San Diego Padres play at, and they reserved that for a concert. And so when we went, we were like, oh, okay, there's a DJ. There's already playing. Shout out to his graphic designer and video editor who carried the show.
Yeah.
That was amazing. Well, the music was great, but their
music's good.
Music was good, right? But
being a broadcast production guy, like I was blown away by that.
Right. Yeah, I know. It was definitely amazing. And then, we had a few acts. I forgot what some of their names were, but there was one girl, she had a band and they were really good and they were singing. And then we knew Blink-182 was going to come up at some point.
Right.
Well, what happened was though, when we got there, we thought Lil Nas X was going to perform and we were like, oh, we're going to get like half an hour of Old Town Road. So we were like, okay, so basically, and then when we were there, it's like, oh yeah, no, he's not coming. And then before it actually happened, they were like, oh, but you know who's replacing him is Logic. And we were like, what? Logic?
Yeah.
That's like, that's like somebody saying, hey, listen, we're going to give you a Toyota. Actually, never mind. We're going to give you a Lamborghini. So we were like, what? Logic is going to perform. So Logic came through, killed it, absolutely destroyed it. I mean, like Logic had me, like he was like, put your hands up, and I'm like putting my hands up, and I'm like, yeah, it's like, and if you put your hands down, you're a terrible person. I'm like, all right, well, now I have to keep my hands up the entire time.
Gotta keep my hands up.
Right. So I mean, like he made the show so cool, and obviously Blink-182 did amazing as well. Their actual performance had a lot of like. Like there was a like really big pyrotechnics, and they had a lot of really cool stuff. And obviously they have an amazing discography where they were able to do that. Dan said he said the N-word on the Twitch channel. Well, to be fair, it was part of the song, so any of those songs, they're fair game. None of those songs get censored whenever a Twitch channel goes through. So I mean, it happens. What is Twitch gonna do? Are they gonna ban their own channel? No, I don't think they're gonna happen. So
they're gonna ban Logic from Twitch.
Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, he doesn't even have a channel. So,
right.
So, but yeah, so
he likes the Fortnite.
Right, right. So yeah, that was such an amazing experience, and that is actually where we met Kefri, which is probably one of the coolest dudes at TwitchCon.
Oh my God.
I mean, Kefri is such a nice person. Talk about like such a down to earth person. We met him. He was outside of like the partnered area where all the partners were, and all the big streamers and stuff. And he was outside of the bathroom, and we just caught him and was like, hey, what's up, dude? Like It's a Chris had mentioned, hey, like if you see him, let him know. And shout outs to It's a Chris too, who linked us up. She was able to be like, hey, I let Kefri know. And, we told him, and he was like, oh yeah, man, whatever. Yeah. He was so excited about taking a picture. And
yeah, he was almost more excited to talk to us than we were to him.
Right. And I even told him, I was like, well, I didn't expect to see you here, so I didn't bring anything to sign because I know my daughter really wants something to sign. And he was so amazing. Afterwards, he contacted me on Instagram, and he was like, hey, listen, I'm sorry I wasn't able, after the con was over, he was like, I wasn't able to catch you because he was doing Twitch Rivals all day. He was on Apex. So I know he's a busy man, I know. And he was like, well, listen, let me get something to you. So he offered to send my daughter a hoodie a signed hoodie, and I was like, wow, that's insane. And Minty, like, she loves Kefri and stuff like that, so she sent him a message as well saying thank you and stuff like that.
She got the FaceTime as well.
She got, when we were there, I was like, well, listen, I don't have anything to sign, but what if I FaceTime my daughter? And he's like, okay.
Yeah.
And I FaceTime Minty him, and I was like, do you know who this is? And she's like, yeah, I know who it is.
the most Minty thing she could have said.
Right. So yeah, she was really excited about that, and it was awesome that it happened. And yeah, so we got to meet Kefri. We had an amazing show in downtown San Diego, watching Blink-182 and Logic, and so many different acts that were really cool. And then come through, we got day 3, and day 3 was, we were already kind of exhausted from day 1 and day 2. Like, to be honest, at least I was. I mean, my legs were giving out. I mean, Skate was watching me. My knee, like, I blew out a knee just walking that entire con.
I was starting to wonder. I was like, Dazzle, I can't carry you if this goes downhill. Like, this is not going to go well.
Yeah. And then, that day we had to, if you paid attention to Skate's Twitter, you noticed that he said he had to Naruto run all the way to the Ava Media booth because he had to be there at 9 a.m., which is exactly when they opened. So that was part of it. He had to run all the way to the Ava Media booth, and he got to stream. And, I checked, that's when I did my Twitch things. And then after I did that, I went to Skate's stream, and I hung out with him while he was playing Hearthstone, which through an amazing PC setup.
Oh, yeah.
That was really cool. And then, that's where we saw, we saw a lot of the games there. Shout outs to all the games that, cause one of the things that we saw was a lot of really indie companies, indie games and stuff like that were giving a lot of codes and stuff to affiliates. A lot of the part of the TwitchCon is that, these big companies, they see partners and they're like, oh, there's a partner, let's talk to them. But, a lot of these small indie games, they were giving out codes for, small streamers like us who are affiliates and not necessarily partners. So shout out to all of them. They did a fantastic job at, talking to small streamers and getting them codes and stuff like that. So yeah, that was really cool. We got to check out a lot of that. There was a charity event as well going on. Myth was there, TSM Myth. So for those of you who don't know, Myth, he's a Fortnite streamer.
Literally ran into him when we were walking around that booth. I turned around and I was like, oh shoot, like, Sorry,
Myth.
Oh, hey, look, it's Myth.
yeah, Michigan guy. So Myth is a really cool dude. I mean, if you don't know about Fortnite streamers, Myth is definitely one of those guys. I mean, he's
speaking
really good.
of Fortnite streamers, Cypher PK, as we were leaving to get in our Uber, just comes rolling up on one of those little scooters, and I turned around and I was like, "Is that?" And I could see his badge. I was like, "Yeah." Cypher PK.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right. Which in retrospect we should have gotten
right now
picture.
for 1,100 people.
Right. Exactly. So I mean, Cypher PK, who is an amazing streamer and player as well. So we got to see some of that. Tell us a little bit. You know more about this than I do, and it was sort of like new to me. But tell us a little bit about watching the speed run at TwitchCon.
Oh yeah, the speed run. So if you guys have not watched Games Done Quick, they typically run events at these kind of cons where they're raising money for charity. I can't remember what the charity was for this one. I can't remember the exact name. Anyways, so we were watching them run Resident Evil 2, which was quite a show. If you guys have never played Resident Evil 2, this was the remaster, I believe, the 2019 version. So they were speed running all the way through Resident Evil 2, and I think he finished in like 58 minutes. And it was incredible to watch the precision that this guy was running this game with. And he's dictating this the whole way, like telling you what's coming up. Well, if this happens this way, we're going to gain some time. If this happens this way, this is bad for us. And, if you would get attacked by a zombie, no, we're fine here because there's an herb up here. And just the precision that it takes to speedrun is like a whole different level of gaming. And it's something that I respect incredibly. It's something that you have to go in and just practice and run to death. And it's not glorious by any stretch, but there's a lot of pride within the speedrunning community for those different records.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's It was really interesting to watch. I don't think I've ever watched anything like that. And I hadn't seen them before, and Skate was watching it, and we just happened to stumble on it. Like we were looking for EVA and we figured, we knew that Rami told us that EVA was at one of the panels, and you're like, oh, that's probably where you find her. And so we tried to go find her, but then we just stumbled on this, and we were like, well, screw it, let's just watch this. This looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, let's check this out.
And
they're speed running Resident Evil 2. Wow,
right.
That's cool.
And it was really fun, and the cause was really cool because they actually made the money that that they wanted to for the cause, which was
15,000.
Yeah, 15,000, which was for a charity for handicapped players to get them the equipment that they need for them to be able to play video games, which is an awesome charity. I don't remember exactly what it was called, but that's what it was for.
Right.
So yeah, that was just phenomenal. And yeah, so we got to watch that. I got to check out Twitch Rivals. By the way, the esports arena for Twitch Rivals was phenomenal. I mean, this was like the coolest thing I probably have seen as far as esports go. So they had this round area where all the PCs were at, and all the competitors were there, and then right around that were all the fans and stuff watching it. And our boy Kefri with Gale Adelaide were competing in the Apex, and he was if you check out his Twitter, there's a good shot of him literally carrying Gale through the arena, which is really funny.
Much.
Yeah,
I don't
so
want to sugarcoat it.
So it's funny. Check it out. And yeah, so that was really cool. The loot cave. Let's talk about that really quick, because there's something that I didn't really know about. You know, I just figured, oh, there's gonna be like a gift shop. We'll just go. There was a line. For the loot cave. The first time we went through, there was quite a bit of a line, and then second day we went through, obviously it's less of a line, but it was a good 20-minute line the first time we went through, but they had some amazing products. I got this shirt. This shirt was $7. You can't beat that. This hat was $12. You can't beat that. So there was a lot of stuff. What did you end up getting besides the shirt?
Yeah, obviously we got the new logo shirt, because I absolutely love this, and it doesn't really show up on the stream, but it's this nice like deep purple too. I love the shade of purple. The other thing I got was this awesome Twitch mug that you will probably see me streaming with on Saturday and Sunday mornings when I'm doing my coffee streams and chatting with people. I also walked away with a Twitch hoodie that is somewhere over that general direction. I don't have it on me, but it's basically this same Twitch logo on it in the purple on a black hoodie. I got a pin. That's the other thing I got. I was gonna say, I know I got something else. So I got this awesome TwitchCon pin that is just the logo. It's hard to see there with the reflection, but there you can kind of get a gist of it. And I think that was pretty much the extent of what I picked up at the Loot Cave.
Right. Yeah, no, and I got some stuff for my wife. I got some stuff for Minty. I bought this hat, a hoodie. I got this shirt. So I got quite a few things, and I honestly didn't really spend that much money. It was actually pretty cost effective. It was, it makes total sense to go up there. Tell us a little bit about the things that we saw up there. We saw there was an artist like alley up there where there was artists who had their own stuff, and they were at TwitchCon. They had the little booth, and it was really cool to see people's own like art at there. Right next to the Loot Cave is really awesome. I saw there were like custom Pokeballs at one point.
Oh yeah, I mean, people were selling all this custom art and custom prints that they had made for people, and like anybody can walk up and buy it. I didn't happen to check out any of the like the prices or anything to see what it ran, but I did see a lot of people walking around with prints in their hands. So it was a cool way to see one of a kind art, and let's be honest, 90% of it was video game themed. So yeah, it was just a really, really neat experience to walk around and see, and it's in this like open air type area. It was covered, but it had a lot of natural light in it, so it almost felt like, you know, almost like a greenhouse type feel. So you have a lot of natural light on that stuff. It was just a different vibe up there than there was down on the main show floor.
Absolutely. And in addition to that, they had a really awesome food vending like place where people can buy food. We bought burritos for $10, which was actually really good. I mean, which was actually
our coupon paid for it.
Yeah, our coupon paid for it. In addition to that, they also had the So they had Alien was up there. Alien had an amazing booth. We almost didn't even catch it. We just happened to stumble on it because we were eating outside. You're like, wait a minute, Alienware's out here. Yeah,
We've been here 3 days.
Alienware was there. Right, and we were like, oh, Alienware's here. That's where I went and kicked Skate Action DJ's ass on Mortal Kombat.
Hey,
So-
it's only fair given what happened on Smash.
Right. I completely got destroyed on Smash. I think I maybe won once out of like 5 games.
You did win one.
Yeah. So I got utterly. I blame the controller. The controller was disconnecting. I blame the controller, but that's just me. But yeah, no, Alienware was super fun. They had an awesome little Mortal Kombat setup. It was part of the Twitch stream highlights, so you can see. They also had the Kappa Cabana, which I thought was hilarious.
Yes, the Kappa Cabana.
Yeah, so they had Kappa Cabana, which is supposed to be like this alcohol area where people were drinking alcohols and stuff like that. Very cool though. There was a lot of people up there. I think Miller Lite was up there too, doing like a few things, because Miller Lite has this program for moderators for Twitch chat that they're doing. If you haven't seen that yet, it's probably been an ad over on Twitch every now and then. So they were doing some of that over there as well. And then there were so many. Honestly, there was so much to do at TwitchCon that we really didn't have the time to do everything. I know there was tons of panels that once we saw, me and Skate were like, oh man, we should have done that. We forgot.
We didn't do a single panel.
We didn't do a single panel.
Didn't have time.
We didn't have time. Yeah, we were just networking, talking to people, and just having fun. And we just didn't have time to do a lot of the panels. But there's so many of them out there, and I know a few people that went through them, and they found it very helpful. So. And then that was pretty much day 3 was just exhaustion, and we were like, all right, we did as much as we possibly humanly could do. So that was pretty much TwitchCon. I mean, did we miss anything? Did we leave anything out? I mean, we talked about a lot of stuff.
Gosh, I don't know. I think we hit on most of the stuff. Obviously, those of you that follow me on Twitter saw that I got to meet a few of the Hearthstone streamers that I idolize. I got to meet Slissa and Brian Kibler. For those of you that don't know, Brian Kibler is an established Magic the Gathering player too. So just card games in general, the dude is insanely smart, and you can tell by talking to him. He talks so fast. His brain moves faster than his mouth can make words. But everybody. The one big takeaway I think from TwitchCon was how nice and approachable the partners were, from small to big. Yeah. Everybody was nice and was willing to talk.
It didn't matter if you had 10K people watching you or 4. These guys were all really nice. I met a guy online for Twitch Sings he's a Twitch singer. I mean, he plays Apex Legends, and he also sings on Twitch Sings. And the guy's a partner streamer. He gets like 400 or 500 people watching him at a time. I mean, the guy's big, and we were just talking. He was hanging out. There's no ego. I mean, I didn't see anybody egoing anybody else at this convention. Everybody was super cool, because I feel like they all know what the struggle is. They've all been through the grind. They all kind of understand it. I mean, even somebody like XQC, who is a pretty big streamer, I mean, he was really cool with everybody. He tried to get as many people to take pictures with him. He appeased a lot of people and was there.
Absolutely.
Just, those type of, you can't, I mean, even I saw the vlog of Tim the Tatman. I wasn't able to meet him, but Tim the Tatman was there too, as well as Dr. Lupo, and they were talking to a lot of people, and they were hanging out. And it was just the type of thing where everybody was super humble and super nice, and it was just so cool. It was so awesome. It was probably one of the best experiences at a convention I've ever had. I've been to a lot of different conventions. I've been to Comic-Con, I've been to Origins, and like all these different conventions, and I gotta say, TwitchCon was just, it made me want to stream more and just grind it out more and get more viewers and create a community and stuff like that, because the community that was there was so amazing. It really was.
Yeah, it was just awesome. It's weird how you go to something like this and it just, not that fire was gone, but it just, it throws gasoline on it and just ignites it, and it just makes you want to go out there and do more, stream more, all of that. I I definitely would recommend TwitchCon. It's going to be back in San Diego again next year. So if you guys can, now's when you start planning for it. So now's when you start setting a little bit of money back and saving up to go. You don't have to be a streamer to go.
Right.
There, I mean, almost half the people we probably saw on Saturday and Sunday were community members. They weren't affiliate. They weren't partnered, and you could tell who everybody was because of the badge. If you look at the badge, it actually says affiliate on my badge, so you knew what everybody was.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's a pilgrimage that everybody that is into watching Twitch or creating content on Twitch should go to at some point.
Absolutely. So yeah, if you're interested in streaming, if you're interested in doing all that, I learned so much from this weekend. I learned, talking and just the networking alone makes it worth it. And then on top of that, you learn about new stuff, and it's basically a trade show with a community, with some awesome concert stuff and like people talking. Yeah, it's just all of that, all inclusive. It's really awesome. So yeah, absolutely. Beast, yes. So you don't have to be a streamer to go. Absolutely, you don't have to be a streamer to go. You can just go as a community member, as I think, as long as you have a Twitch account. As far as like if you watch something, that's all it takes is just watching stuff on Twitch. That's all you need, and yeah, absolutely perfect. So so listen, that we'll round out the show with that. We went a little long here, but it's all good.
We expected it.
Right, we expected it. There was so much to talk about. But yeah, so thank you everybody for passing by. Thank you for all the hosts. That includes CGL1, Mark hosted as well. There was quite a few people who hosted. Thank you for everybody who passed by. Beast for passing by. Everybody that tuned in to watch. We're gonna go ahead and raid one of my favorite streamers, which is gonna be DSP Stanky. He's gonna be I'm gonna go raid him. He's always fun to watch, and if you haven't checked out any of his variety streams, please check it out. Give him a follow. Tell him that I sent you. Dazzle sent you. He'll know. Me and him are best buddies now.
Yeah, we're BFFs.
BFFs. Yeah, exactly. He knows exactly right. So go check him out. Stay tuned to twitter.com/dazzle167 to check out all of the updates on when Off the Wall is gonna be. Check out skateaction.tv to check out his streams, and go check him out. We have yet to set up a stream where it's me, you, and I Numlocks. Me and I Numlocks were playing yesterday. We actually gained some SR. It was actually pretty cool. Yes, we did. I mean,
don't tell anybody, but Skate's high enough to play with you now.
Oh, there you go. Skate is one of us now. He can play.
One of us.
That's right. So go check him out. And then yeah, absolutely. We'll go do some of that. Guys, until next time, we'll catch you all later. I'm gonna go ahead and raid DSP Stanky. When you get into his chat, let him know that I said hello. Tell him that you came from Off the Wall Dazzle167. Maybe he can come to my show one day. Who knows? So go check him out. All right, guys. Catch y'all later. See ya. Bye.